Good morning, everybody. It's March 13. I'm back out here after working on some of those pipes yesterday and digging the pit for the septic. So I will be continuing with these pipes over here that I have on the trailer, and went and bought myself garden hoe for cleaning out the trench. And then Val, she kind of worked on the shed inside and organizing it, and so she said she needed another one of these. So I'm going to take that down to the shed, and I bought some pens. Remember, I had to make shift yesterday for a bar that goes under here for the three point, and I think it'll hold for now. So the next time I take this, take the backhoe off and all that stuff and put a new attachment, I'll go ahead and try one of these and see. This looks like it's right, but I still don't know. Maybe it's even smaller. It was a pretty small one that was in there, but if I have to, I'll buy another small set. I don't know. We are going to get to it. I have a couple other things I need to work on as well. If I get the pipes done, I want to create some kind of a cage for this trailer. Unfortunately, the places where you can put attachments, they don't make it so easy where you just go buy some 2x4s. I guess 2x4s don't fit in here. Obviously not in here. So I need to design something, write down all the measurements, and come up with something that'll work. And I also tried to get power out here to this pole, and I did not know this, but I guess I have to have my county come out and inspect it first, which is a completely different company, obviously. County versus the power company. So I may be swinging by there today and talking to them about. I looked up the requirements, and I think I'm pretty close to what it needs to be done, but there's a couple of things I think I'm supposed to have attached to the pole that I don't even know what they are. So I gotta go check that out. All right, let's get to work. All right, guys. I'm glad I bought this. It's got a nice long handle garden hoe. What I'm doing is trying to get an ever so slightly slant. I didn't really have it pictured in my mind. What does these pipes look like? And honestly, because it's a 12-inch scoop, I'm actually going to lay them probably all side by side. They barely even need to be stacked on each other, really, the pipes. So we're trying to make it a little bit, just a tiny bit higher at that end than at this end, so that it has just a little bit of a slope for the septic and all that. So just a natural flow. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to build up this end a little bit and then lay the pipe there, start at that end. This is supposed to be a 40-foot house, so I bought 50 feet worth of pipe so it can stick out both ends, and then I can just plug those off and dig down into them later on when we need them. Okay, so yeah, I'm just pulling dirt here with the garden hoe. This end looks like it needs it a little bit more, a little bit deeper than there. But I'm just kind of scraping off, and then once I get everything laid, I can just push everything over with the front loader. Okay guys, what I'm doing here is got all my pipes laid out. I'm starting with the biggest ones. They're the hardest to handle. So get the hard part done and out of the way and learn on that, and then put the other stuff in. Get easier and easier. I put 2 rocks here a couple rocks here. Just throwing some rocks down right in the area where I'll be gluing these together. So it's sort of a cleaner surface than doing it right in the dirt. Because once I roll these over, I'm afraid of dirt getting in and then messing everything up. So I'm also thinking this does have like a little bit of dust and dirt in them. I assume that we will, once the well is in, we can blow out this and run some water through it first and get any little thing out that we can. Of course, it's a septic pipe, so probably a little dirt in there is not going to hurt it anyway. It's all heading toward downhill toward dirt anyway. So yeah, let's get this part done. See how this works out. All right, I think I got everything I need kind of together here. You know, I tried to just get everything glued together as much as possible, and I think in one way it works out well, but I'm about to find out, I think, in another way it doesn't work so well, because now I'm gonna have to put everything together when they're double heavy and double weight. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes. And I'm gonna try, I lose my dexterity when I put these gloves on, but I got stained up pretty good yesterday, and it kind of burns too. So I'm gonna try in the beginning to not, or to wear my gloves, but we'll see how long that lasts. These gloves have seen their last days anyway, so I was like, well, let's go ahead and wear these, even if they get destroyed, at least protect my hands a little bit. Yesterday I was trying to film this and I ran out of memory in my card, as I probably said a million times, and that made it, I tried to do it on my phone and I just couldn't hold it, so, and be able to work at the same time, and didn't have a holder for the phone. So hopefully we cover some things we missed yesterday. Kind of see how I'm doing things here. I think that's all the way it'll go. I sure hope so. Yeah, looks pretty good. Let me try shoving it from the end, see if that'll do any more. What I did here was put a little stop on the end of the pipe so I don't keep pushing it down too far. And it kind of gives me what I did was I took a hammer and a little piece of wood, just kind of tapped on the end of that to make sure that this was pushed all the way together, and I had that to kind of stop it. So I think that's going to work pretty good. All right, guys, I pushed this pipe back down this way a little bit more. I didn't really want it poking out that end too far, because we'll be having we'll be teeing up from there just outside the house, so I didn't really want it that far from the house. So I moved it this way a little bit, and that ended up causing me extra work. I tried to fill this in a little bit because I had it too deep, and then when I filled it in too much, and now I had to use that garden hoe to trench it better again. Anyway, we're gonna glue this guy now. Guess I should have got that in there before I dusted this off. I sanded all these yesterday, so they're nice and rough, but this dirt probably doesn't help too much. These gloves helped protect me on that last pipe down there, so this might have been a good decision. This stuff bonds pretty quick. Yesterday, if I took more than 30-40 seconds to get these slid together, they were already bonding. So if you're doing this, make sure, there we go, you're able to slide them together pretty fast. I feel like this would have actually been more of a two-person job, at least with these bigger pipes. Hopefully that put that together. All right, guys, it's been a while, but I am sweating. Been a while since it's been in the high 30s, low 40s in the morning, and like, you know, through the night, whatever, at least down here. And it's been getting into the upper 60s, lower 70s. Yesterday was 72, 73 when I left. So out here working in that, it's getting hot. We are going to cool down a little bit, I think, in a few days, but right now that's where we're at. So unfortunately I got some dirt on that end, but that's where it stops for now. So the point is, we wanted this to have a slow, gradual go downhill. This right here where this pink flag is and this little bar is the corner of the house, and we wanted the pipe kind of right at the surface at this end, so that now, because this goes uphill, we'll be digging deeper so it can go kind of straight. It'll still have a gradual incline as well, but it'll definitely end up being further underground, which is the point also. So if we drive on this or anything, we won't break the pipe. It'll be deep enough. And then here is under the house, so it can be right close to the surface. But I think because this is going to be toward the top of the surface, that obviously will be a little bit lower at that end, so we keep that gradual decline. So the way my inexperienced mind has decided to do this, because I don't really know a better way, is I've kind of got it right now, and I want to do it with this pipe first, and then the other ones can follow. Is I want to take a level and start putting a gradual decline, which I think if I take this rock out down here, in fact, I probably want to take these rocks out now, because I don't want these pipes laying on rock. They'll get punctured probably. Okay, let's see if that helped a little bit. So this still needs, okay, yeah, that did help. Okay, so this end is going to have to go down more, and then we'll work it from there all the way down, I think. Or I can, oops, or I can raise this other end just slightly. I'll probably do a little bit of both. So we'll put some dirt in here and support that in there, and that'll help raise that a little bit, making that a little bit more even. I still have a 1-inch pipe to go through here and a 2-inch pipe. Let's see how we're looking down here now. I was hoping by raising that, it would raise this in. Well, actually, yeah, we need to raise that in more. That's my intention. So we just got to keep picking up that in all the way down. All right, that's what we're going to work on. what I'm discovering is this is a little bit of work. I started this in, like I said, and I was going to try to go up, but by the time it gets down there, it's too high up now. So I figured I need to lower this end, so I just lowered this end a little bit. That's what's necessary. All right, that is wonderful. That's just a very slight incline, I believe. Yep, that's exactly how I want it. So I'd like to see that bubble just a little bit off like that all the way down. Then once I get it like that all the way down, then I can fill in with dirt around it and kind of support it. And the other pipes aren't as necessary. One is going to be a water line from the well, which is done with a pump, so I mean, it'd be nice if there's a little bit of gravity, I guess. And the other one's just going to be a conduit for electrical, so that doesn't matter. So this is like the most important one. All right, guys, if I would have time-lapsed that whole thing, it'd probably been the longest time-lapse in history. I kept having to lower this in order to get that in, and then up that in. And so I've played with it long enough, and I've got a very, very slight slope to it now. Okay, so yeah, I got this going at just a slight drop. And, you know, up here is where the RV would be on the other side of these bushes. So the stuff from the septic would be going all the way down here. And I think as long as it has a gradual drop, it'll flow downhill nicely. And then right here is the end of our house. Our bathroom will be right around in this area. So it'll pick up on the septic and get another flush to get all the way over there to the septic tank, which is right about in there. So yeah, I think that's going to work. Now the next thing I'm going to do is probably going to be the 1-inch conduit or 2-inch conduit. Actually, I'm making it really big around conduit, so I'll never regret not putting a big enough pipe. It'll be plenty big enough to run wire from the well all the way down here to wherever the power pole will be or whatever, tying into the power. And then, you know, we've talked about running wire all the way along this road to go all the way out to the street if we want to put lights along the driveway, or if we want to put lights at the entrance of the driveway. It'll just set us up if we ever, you know, we got to run power to the RV if there's one there. So it'll give us enough room, I think, to be able to run power underneath the house. And again, this is just going to be PVC pipe, nothing special, not anything geared for electric, just because it's going to be under the house. Okay guys, the next trick we got to do is we're going to run electrical line through this pipe. We have to be able to snake it. We've got to be able to pull wire through it. And if I don't put something in there now, it could prove difficult to get wire to go through. So what I want to do is lay a rope in it. This rope here that I bought a while ago for pulling trees over. I have extra 1-inch pipe. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if this is going to work. I might have to end up drilling a hole through the pipe, something to be able to tie the rope through the pipe, something to secure it. And then I'll shove it through each pipe as I'm ready to glue them together. So that's going to be the next step. Hopefully it's being smart. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'll thank myself when I go to pull line through there. And then on top of that, when I'm pulling line, I'll add another rope. So there'll always be something in that pipe that I can pull line through with. If this works. Nope. There's a couple of extra knots in here, so I'm going to have to get those out and then do over. All right, guys, take two. What I did was I pulled out the knots. And then I took some duct tape and I just duct taped this one in. Hopefully it'll hold. And I can just push this guy right through. Hey, we're having a better start already. There it is. Perfect, guys. There we go. Since this is just conduit, I'm not going to be especially careful. The one thing that I could see as a potential problem is once this gets all glued in here, hopefully, you know what? I'm not going to glue it. I'm afraid of somewhere along the line this might get attached to this stuff. Let me see something here. You know what? What do you guys think? I think that's a good plan. We're not going to glue it. That way ropes never get stuck to anything and I don't have to fight it later on when I'm fishing it. I think it's going to be tight enough. In fact, what I'll do is this duct tape that I took and wrap around that pipe and the rope, I'll put that around here to put a little bit of a seal. That'll make me feel all right. All right, plans evolving on the fly. That's what I said in a couple of videos ago, probably. I think out what I can, but a lot of my stuff is on the fly. Just do it, and then it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense, that might work, type of thing. This is some very high quality, I think it's high quality. It's the first time I've used it. Duct tape. I think it was the highest mil I could find. It's very, very thick, and then it says 13 mil or something like that. So it's very thick. So I'm just going to do a single wrap, and I think that will help protect that. And then on top of that, the other side, every one is glued because I put when I prepped yesterday, I did one side. I put a coupler on one side, so I'm only needing to do this on one side of each. When you're putting this stuff together, you're going to find that it'll want to pull apart. So when you push it, see it starts to back out. So you have to hold it for maybe 5-7 seconds or so, and then it stays. Alright guys, also this being a water line, I am doing my best to protect it all the way around. There's rocks in the soil. And I think that this pressurized water going through the line will make the pipe jerk around once in a while or whatever. And just over time, it's going to rub on the pipes and the dirt around it. I'm just going to give it a little bit more reinforcement. I could have swore that these insulators said that they were 1 inch, but none of them are actually fitting. They're kind of, and there was only, I think, 2 of one kind on the shelf, and there was limited what they had in there. They were supposed to be 1 inch, but unless 1 inch doesn't go all the way around, that's what it is. This insulation. I don't know if I bought the wrong one because it's not wrapping all the way around, or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. But because I don't really think this is actually necessary, this insulation, I mean, it's not a have to. It's just me being extra precautious, I think. Or I'm already here, so why not do it? This is just my way of keeping the pipe insulated, which is not even probably necessary because it's under the house, and it's probably not going to get so cold under the house that it's going to be affected. But it's going to do a couple different things. It's going to keep from freezing, and it's also going to keep it from, every time water pressure goes through, it's not going to rub on dirt and rock and other pipes. It'll be inside this. If I ever have to take this apart, I'll be hating myself. I think that probably over time, eventually, this would rub itself raw on the ground, on the dirt and rock. Maybe this will buy some time. I think that this house is going to have, I think, about a 3-foot crawl space, so I can get under to work on stuff if I need to, but it won't be fun. The other house, when we get to that one, is going to have a lot higher crawl space. I think somewhere around 4 to 5 feet. All right, so like I said, they had limited insulator, so I didn't make it to the ends. Didn't make it to the end of that one either, but I think that this will be fine, because down here at this end down here, we're going to be switching to 3/4 inch, I think, or at least somewhere along this line. This is just to get water down from the well to here, and then once it starts reaching houses, I think we're going to reduce down to 3/4 inch. But this will work. Right here's the line for the house, so yeah, that works. And then when we dig trenches or get back into this, I can insulate this all the way up to the well if it's necessary, but I think maybe it's going to be down underneath the ground far enough that it's not going to matter. We'll see. Well, again though, like I said, I think wrapping that stuff helps it not rub against the ground so much, so maybe we will insulate it all the way up. All right, let's see. I'm going to put a few things away and then show you what we're going to do next here. All right, guys, just wanted to show you how this is coming together. All of it's laid in now. And I wanted to say there's kind of a particular reason in a particular layout. I wanted to do that big pipe for the septic first to establish the path and everything, and make sure that was done proper. Then the electric conduit is going to be on the bottom, because I'm never going to need to get to it. And it can be on the bottom, it can rub, it can do whatever. And then the water line, I'm trying to put it a little bit more on top, so if it ever leaks or I got to get to it, it's on top and I don't have to go through other pipes to get to it. And it's, for the best I can do, not on the ground. So it will be insulated and kind of rubbing up against pipes. So that's the reason why I did it that particular way. I don't know if there's a better way. I don't know if the reasons I used are good enough or right, but that's what I was thinking in the layout. Okay guys, this is my other crazy idea of, instead of buying end caps and cutting them off later, I thought I'd just double bag this. Take this rope. I guess in this video I'm starting to look like I'm a duct tape fool. I've never duct taped so much in my life. I like this duct tape being The 13 mil, it's some strong stuff. There's some duct tape I've used that I wouldn't be doing this with. Anyway, this will be protected now. Okay, guys, doing the same thing on this end. I need to cut this rope. That's one of those safety ones. I hate these things. So I'm slicing on my boot because I have safe boots. All right, I think that's good. That was very satisfying to cover this up and know that it's done. I took all my tools and thought I was doing a good job. I put everything away down in the shed down here, and now I need to go back and get probably a hoe and a rake or something and smooth this out. I am a bit concerned how shallow I put this. And Roger told me, I know I haven't mentioned his name in a while, 6-inch deep trench. And I end up putting it much more than that, maybe even more than a foot. So I end up filling it in a lot. But then by the time I put a 4-inch pipe and 2 other pipes next to it, it's knocking on pretty close to the surface. Now, that's great for when I got to go work on it, and it can just sit right underneath the house and it's easy to get to. So in the long run, awesome. But right now, we're going to have to be really careful because I feel like it's so close to the surface, even us stepping on it could crack or break a pipe. So I got to mark this out. I might actually smooth a couple of places down to where the pipe is to remind us there's pipe there and not to step in that line. Or I can string it or something to not step on it. All right, guys, I smoothed it out a little bit. Definitely not a finished product. But I feel like it is time to call in the big dog, call in Roger, and ask his opinion. Maybe he can come out and help me not break pipes, but get this all flat again. So what I did is a couple spots here I dug out so we can see how shallow are the pipes. They're pretty shallow. But I did walk on them, and I'm not too scared now. Walking on it didn't feel too bad. But yeah, I need is this is a department I'm not good at. I'm not good in the finesse, making sure everything's completely flat and perfect. So I can call him out and see if he can help me. And yeah, I put a stake at the end of the pipe, and my rope's not quite long enough. I guess that's a 100-foot rope, and I just got through running it through all that conduit pipe and wrapping around the end. So I used half of it and got a little less than half left, I guess. All right, guys, almost 3 o'clock. I'm leaving earlier, and earlier seems like lately, leaving kind of early again today. The main reason why I'm leaving early today is I ran out of stuff to drink. I don't have anything to drink. I have a sip of water. I'm going to drink that right now. I just now pulled out my truck. It says 77 degrees. It's 77 degrees because it's been sitting in the sun, but it's definitely warm out here. And I went through everything that I usually have to drink, and I'm already done with it. So I'm thirsty. And second of all, I need to go by the county. I put the power pole in, called the electric company to come put the meter on, or the whatever they put on there. And they said I need to have it inspected first. And I said, who inspects it? I said, your county. So I'm learning all these things as I go. It's probably one of those things you do once, you learn all this stuff, and then you don't ever do it again. So it's a frustrating learning curve. Yeah, we got some junk mail again. I don't know if I said yet that I was just kind of wrapping things up and going to work on my trailer there and get the measurements on it. And environmental health showed up from the county, inspected the pit, and he says it's good to go. So we're good on our expansion. And he said he'll have that drawn up by the end of the week, which means early next week, I guess I'll be ready to go in and apply for a building permit for the second house. And then probably by the end of next week, we'll have that permit. So I think things are going to get going here pretty quick. Everything's going to add up, and it's like I've been struggling to find things to do. Not struggling, but just doing stuff that doesn't have to do with the house. It's all good stuff. But anyway, so I think there's an avalanche coming. So I got to get ready for that. And it's exciting because I've been wanting to get a house built. We all want to live out here. I will see you guys the next time I get out here. I expect it'll be tomorrow, but you never know. All right. See you guys when I see you.